Is GameStop about to see another pump within the market in the near-term future, based on Michael Burry accumulating shares throughout the beginning of 2026, and also showing confidence in the new CEO, Cohen, where there's rumors about a large acquisition of a retail company coming up with $8.8 billion in cash available to be able to make that acquisition? It could be possible. There is potential. Now the question is, how can we capitalize on if that pump does occur? And I'm also going to look at charting to make sure the charts support what we're talking about, and the options contracts available to see what we can do to put ourselves in the best position. Now I'm going to go through two different opportunities based on your capital constraints and risk management. And as always, let's tap in. I do want to make sure that I always pull up some charting, because I think charts are really good for, showing a picture of where the stock has been moving and, where it's at currently, so that we're not just putting our money into something without at least taking a look. Now, everybody knows there is speculation in a lot of buys sometimes. There's charting, but speculation and charting can go together. For most of the time, we want to see them coincide as much as possible. So let's pull up GameStop's charts right now. Ticker symbol GME. And as you can see here, I had just outlined that the recent trend that's been going on since September of last year, going until now. And based on just the highs and lows, we're just looking at trying to see where the trend is currently moving. And I have some resistance lines drawn in there just so I can just get a sense of like where things are. And as we can see, we've crossed above the midline, and we're actually touching the top of the trend line based on where it was. And we're trying to see if it can break through that trend line, which there's a lot of possibility and potential that it can. Then we can see it move quickly up through the 27. If it breaks through 27, then sky's the limit. And that's where we can see a lot of huge profit ability from the contracts that we could get. Let's just transition over into actually the two opportunities that we have to try to capitalize or profit from the situation. We have one, which is options contracts. Now the options contracts that we have available, I have two that I think are good opportunities. The first one I'll be going into personally, and the second one is a little bit less risky because it's at least one more month out. So the first one that we're gonna look at is a $30 call on 220 for February 20th as the expiration date. We see a bid of 0.33, which is $33, and we see an ask of 0.34, which is $34. So we have to pay $34, and we're starting off at $33 for our premium, and we have to catch up, which is fine. That's a $1 difference. That's nothing compared to what we could do from a bid-ask spread. So we have a good spread there. I think the biggest thing to me on this contract is the volume and the open interest. That means a lot of people are trading this contract. That means if it does pump, we should see this contract see a lot of movement because a lot of people are buying into this contract. Obviously, the delta right now is only seeing 0.15, and if you look at the delta, and there's videos, and I'll try to post a video explaining each of the Greeks. But for right now, just saying that the delta, if the stock goes up $1, we're going to see 0.15 of improvement on our actual premium price. This could change based on how much volume is being pumped into this contract and how quickly the volatility of that stock is. If it pumps quicker and we see a lot of more volume, you could see that delta change sporadically and actually move a lot quicker. So I'm not going to put too much into the Greeks right now based on the fact that we're going to be expecting, if this does happen, a lot of volume, a lot of movement, and this contract should see that movement the most. The IV is seeing at 87, which is fine as well. The second contract that I'm going to be looking at is the same call price of $30, but for March 20th. And the whole purpose of the March 20th is to try to give us a little bit of wiggle room, a little bit more time, just in case it takes more time for the deal to actually be announced, whenever it is announced, to see that pump within the market. And again, this is going to be a little bit more risky. That's why I said don't put too much into this. Maybe again 1-2% of your overall value of the buying power that you have, just to buy a couple contracts at $34. You get in. The one for the March 20th is at $70 with a bid-ask spread of 4, because the bid is at 66, the ask is at 70. Not too strong, not too much of a bid-ask spread, but opportunity for us to get in at a low value contract, which is $70, and you can get a couple, maybe $500 to $1,000 worth of contracts, have a good amount of contracts, and let it just sit there and go through the volatility until the time does come when the pop does. And for step 2, we're just look at swing trading. So what we would do is just buy a bunch of shares and hold on until that time comes. And once it does pop, you sell and you just take the profits and the returns from that difference in the share price from when you entered and when you actually exit. So that's a little bit less risky due to the fact that you can get in and get out. You can hold longer. The premiums of the contracts make it more advantageous to me to take the risk. So everybody, please, this is not financial advice. Always know that. This is Kenny's Trade Room. This is me just telling you what I'm going to do based on some insight that I see, showing you some of my charts. In the future, I'm going to be doing some earnings. AMD is coming up, which I'm excited about. Google's coming up. I'm excited about. Amazon's coming up. Super excited about all of those. So I'm going to give you some insight on what I think about those and if I decide to play. I do want to also add that I post a lot of content and information on Threads. I'll be sharing more videos and things on Facebook, TikTok, and things like that moving forward, and I'll go live on more opportunities. And if you could please hit the subscribe button. The link below will take you to my Threads account to see all these other things that I posted, and a lot more content will be shared on this channel in the future. And if you hit subscribe, you'll be able to get notified when those opportunities come, because a lot of these things could be earnings plays, it could be actual same day trade, it could be a next day trade. So you want to be locked in whenever those opportunities do come. Welcome to Kenny's Trade Room, and I'll see you guys next time.